All right, you guys, we're doing a bookshelf tour. Why? Because I did a bookshelf tour before and it was only my Stephen King shelf. What you don't usually see on this camera is that we have a ton of other shelves. And I wanted to show you kind of the centerpiece ones that are in the living room, which kind of take up the bulk of our most prized collection, I guess you could say. So I'm Nikhil with Shelf-Esteem, and this is the bookshelf tour. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. I'm Nikhil with Shelf-Esteem. I'm a composer, now also booktuber. You can find my music in The Wheel of Time Season 2, His Dark Materials, Season 3, and the newly released psychological horror film Dead Whispers. So, as you know, I'm a massive Stephen King fan, so much so that I have a whole shelf dedicated to him. And you can check out that video up here if you want to see a more in-depth look at that. But, you know, I figured this is kind of a nice start to the conversation because, you know, we all collect books and maybe we have used ones, maybe we have special edition ones. But I kind of want to use this video to illustrate 2 points. One is, you know, just kind of show my bookshelves and see what you think about them and which ones that you have or which ones you would want to get and just kind of have a dialogue. And the second part of it is, you know, I think there's always the trap of Booktube, and the Booktube community is like, you want to collect the greatest special editions, you want to have everything matching, and it comes with a price point, right? And not everyone can afford it. So I want to show you just kind of what mine look like and hopefully make you feel like, hey, you know, well-worn copies are as welcome as the new special editions. And sometimes it's nice to have both, right? So without further ado, if you like this kind of video, please like and subscribe, and let's take a look at some shelves. Okay, you guys, I tried to clean up best as I could, so please mind any stray books or any stray things here. But I'm going to go just kind of shelf by shelf and let you know what I'm looking at here. So this is the First Law series by Joe Abercrombie. So these ones are the Gallants. Smaller, beautiful artwork. I kind of love the way these look. And they're very easy to hold and read. And it's just walls of text because that's how Joe Abercrombie rolls. But it's all good stuff and all character work. So if you like that kind of thing, definitely check out First Law. Don't sleep on it. So these are the three from the first trilogy. This is the standalones. And this is the sequel trilogy. Then we have The Justice of Kings by Richard Swan, which is kind of a mystery fantasy. I really enjoyed this first entry. Looking forward to seeing kind of what he comes up with in the future entries. I haven't read, I have to catch up on some of those. Here's Sharp Ends, the short novella, I guess, is it? Or maybe it might be a set of short stories in the First Law world by Joe Abercrombie. Speaking of Joe Abercrombie, I'm going to move the Buddha statue here and this little ghost thing. These are, I forget the name, I think is it The Shattered Sea or something, Shattered something trilogy. This is half a king, half the world, and half a war. This is his, I believe, YA fantasy series. I've not read these. These are my wife's actually, and as I mentioned, you know, when we got married, we combined bookshelves because that's how we do it. So you're going to see a little bit of both here. This one is The Crimes of Rooker Flynn by A.R. Witham, a friend of the channel, wonderful author. I've read his first book here in his trilogy. His new one, Trials of Rooker Flynn, I think just came out in January, so definitely check that out if you haven't. It's very swashbuckling. It's got dark towery kind of fever dream, nightmare kind of scenarios. Really, really cool. Great stuff. This is The Black Company by Glenn Cook, kind of the father of Grimdark. I'll leave that for now. This sticker. So what happens when you get a lot of used books, you find random stickers on them. But here's The Book That Wouldn't Burn by Mark Lawrence, part of his library trilogy. This is Tigana by Guy Gavriel Kay. I got this really beautiful copy. I just want to show you the artwork on it because it's kind of nice when you get a chance to see older books. And that's why I always say, like, don't sleep on older editions because sometimes they're even better than the new ones, you know? Just beautiful. I love that. I love that artwork. So I just wanted to share that with you. Speaking of classic artwork, here is Janny Wirtz's first 7 entries. 7 because this is books 2 and 3 right here. But look at the artwork. She kindly sent me all of these books. And I'm going to be having her on my channel on Saturday. So by the time you see this, it will be close to that date or already at that date. So you could check that out as well. This is Curse of the Mist Wraith, the first one. And this one is, if I can do this without making it fall, this is signed by Jenny Wirtz, as all the books that she gave me kindly are signed. And she put her favorite quote there. Beautiful stuff. Thank you so much again, Jenny. If you're sleeping on the series, I highly recommend you don't, because it is a master of character work, master of prose, and master of subtlety. I think she's really good at showing how prejudices could make even the reader have preconceived notions about characters in these books, and those evolve over time. Really great stuff. This is the 10 very big books of Malazan Book of the Fallen. So they actually are kind of out of order. So here's the first one, the shortest one, of course. Then the second, third, fourth, fifth, and they get way bigger as they go. So I'm reading these actually on Kindle because I found it's a little hard for me to kind of read the small type and really get the most out of the story. I find it more immersive actually to read on my Kindle sometimes with some of these longer, denser works. So Linda can probably tell you more about this one, but she is a little camera shy, so I don't think she will be on the camera anytime soon. But these ones, I don't know anything about. These are hers. If you know, by the way, let me know in the comments, because I'm curious myself. This is Isaac Asimov's The Foundation Trilogy. Nice Barnes & Noble special edition. I'll pull this out really quick so you can see. Again, beautiful artwork. I did a whole kind of unboxing thing on my channel in the shorts section, so you can check that out if you want. But, I mean, this gives you an idea of how beautiful it is. Sprayed edges. Beautiful stuff. Speaking of Barnes & Noble special editions, here is an Agatha Christie one of And Then There Were None and Other Classic Mysteries. Again, they really nail it with these, you know? They really nail it with these editions. Then we have the 4 Secret Projects, Brandon Sanderson, right here. So it's Tress, then Frugal Wizards came out, and then Yumi, and then The Sunlit Man. Every single one of these are beautiful. Highly recommend you check them out if you get a chance to. I'm not going to show you every single one in detail, but maybe I should just do a proper walkthrough of these at some point. Would you guys want to see that, or do you guys already have these and maybe it's not useful for you? But really beautiful editions. And then, of course, we have Booktube's own Philip Chase. I did a whole unboxing video on my channel on this one. The Way of Edan, book 1 of his Edan trilogy. One of the best finds in fantasy last year for me. Really loved all 3 of these. Great book. Great series. Now we're going to move down to the Dresden Files with a Wheel of Time one because I ran out of room. But these are all the Dresden Files books that are so far published. And some of the side story ones right here. So really cool. This is T. Kingfisher, Nettle and Bone, random miscellaneous. You're going to start to see miscellaneous books here and there somewhere. But have you read the Dresden Files? Let me know. Then we have the one that started it all for me, that reignited my reading journey, and also journey into fantasy, The Wheel of Time. I'm actually missing, I'm trying to get all the original hardcovers because some of them have very hokey artwork and stuff. This one is actually quite nice. This one is pretty amazing. But some of them do have really hokey artwork, and it cracks me up every time I look at them. But like, oh, I think this is one of them. Yeah, look at that. It's amazing. Wow. And he looks different on every cover, by the way. Pretty great. But you know, there's an understated charm about some of those older editions, right? So got these on, I want to say it was thriftbooks.com. So you can find some older things. So I'm going to try to get the first 3. That's my goal, my next goal. Let's move on over here to a little side shelf here. So this is kind of part of my sci-fi collection with a fantasy one thrown in the mix. This is Theft of Swords, part of the Rhyria Chronicles, or no, Revelations. Revelations by Michael J. Sullivan. Haven't read any, but I found this one for $1, so I'm like totally going to get that. Another Barnes & Noble edition here, Sons of Darkness by Gaurav Mohanty. So Mahabharata retold in the style of Game of Thrones and Malazan Book of the Fallen. Beautiful sprayed edges here. Now these I got like all 4 for $4. Tad Williams' Otherland series. Again, don't sleep on it. It is incredibly complex. It's prescient for the times. Beautiful series. I've read only the first and a little bit of the second so far, but that's one I want to complete this year. Then some miscellaneous ones. A couple from the Thrawn sequel right here. Leviathan Wakes from Expanse. Couple of the Orson Scott Card entries there. Then we have Blake Crouch, one of my favorites, and actually my wife's favorites. And this is called the Wayward Pines Trilogy. Every single book is like from the word go. You know, it's just like nonstop thrill ride. Wonderful series. These are Cixin Liu's Three Body Problem series and accompanying book. I think we lent out the other one to someone, so we've got to get that back at some point. Now let's move on over to this one here. I've talked about this trilogy ad nauseum, Ken Follett's Century Trilogy, about the 5 families in 100 years of world history, historical fiction. We're going to start to see more historical fiction, technological thrillers, and stuff like that here as well. A bunch of Michael Crichton right here. I am severely deficient in my Michael Crichton reading, so if you see any on this list that make you feel like, hey, you should start with this, let me know. But we got Sphere, a couple more Blake Crouch entries here. Dark Matter and Upgrade, they're kind of standalones, great ones. Yeah, tons of Michael Crichton. Let's move on up here. So now we're getting back into sci-fi. There's not a whole rhyme or reason with some of these. It's just space and lack thereof. But we're going to buy some more shelves at some point. Where are we going to put them? I have no idea. So Red Rising series here. Just missing Lightbringer. And then Red God when it comes out. Here is one of the centerpieces of our collection, which is the Sun Eater series by Christopher Rocchio. All originals here. And then this one is the Diamond Edition, Special Edition, which I did a full unboxing of in my shorts as well. Such a cool throwback cover. Love that. Now, we have some more historical fiction. So here's James Clavell's Shogun. They used to have this right before the adaptation came out. And then I think they ran out. But it's a beautiful edition. I got it for like 15 bucks or something. Great from, it was Barnes & Noble or something. Art of War, Sun Tzu, always a classic. Let's just kind of move over here so you can see that I have other James Clavell's books. This is part of his Asian saga. So there's Gaijin. There's 2 copies of Gaijin, so I definitely have to do something about that. Probably give one away. Noble House, Whirlwind, and Taipan. So the reason I have 2 copies of this is one was a gift from my mother-in-law, and the other one I'd gotten at a dollar sale at the library. So there we go. But that's what donations are for, right? So James Michener, another historical fiction novelist. So there's Hawaii. There's The Covenant, which I think is about South Africa, Alaska. Caravans, which is about, I want to say Afghanistan, Texas. So he writes a lot of these types of things. Similar to that, by the way, James Rutherford wrote Ruska, about Russia. So a good way to learn history is through the eyes of someone who's really gifted with the pen. Another Michael Crichton 3 complete novels collection here. Got some Game of Thrones, Song of Ice and Fire here. Here we go. We're getting back into fantasy now. Still no rhyme or reason, but at least they're together, right? So we got Ken Liu's The Grace of Kings, part of the Dandelion Dynasty. I always really love these covers, by the way. Really cool, right? And I'm going to read this at some point this year. I just don't know when yet. Faithful and the Fallen, the most addictive fantasy I've ever read. Then the Farseer trilogy by Robin Hobb, part of the Realm of the Elderlings. Once I get more of these, I'm probably going to get another shelf just for these because it's insane. Here's the Bloodsworn Saga by John Gwynne. Fantastic. And then this is the Blood and Bone trilogy, which is a sequel to Faithful and the Fallen. We got a couple of J. Kristoffs here. Empire of the Vampire, Empire of the Damned, the sequel. And we got the Nevernight trilogy here. Moving on down, we got the Brandon Sanderson collection here. Mistborn Era 1 and 2, and all of Stormlight. Some random miscellaneous ones. James Islington, Leo Bardugo, Patrick Rothfuss, 5th season. Haven't read 5th season yet. Have you? Let me know. Miscellaneous mode. Check these out here. We got Clive Barker, a couple Clive Barkers here. We got Brom, which I've heard great things about. Linda loves Brom, so I definitely have to read those at some point. And then here, we have some more Ken Follett. So we have a couple of random standalones, like A Dangerous Fortune, one of his earlier works. Then we have ones from his Kingsbridge series. I know a lot of people really want matching sets, and I would like that in a perfect world, but it's kind of nice and a little quirky to not have them, and you find little finds at dollar sales and stuff. It's kind of fun. We got Cormac McCarthy. So we got The Road, Blood Meridian, and All the Pretty Horses. Then we got Larry McMurtry and Lonesome Dove right there. We got the Robert McCammon collection right here. Then we got some randoms. We got Gone with the Wind, an old copy from like the 50s. The short novels of John Steinbeck, another old copy. Some random ones here. Nosferatu, Joe Hill, Justin Cronin. We got Jujutsu Kaisen, which is Linda's favorite. Then we got the Five Warrior Angel trilogy by Brian Lee Durfee. The #1 television program in the history of the entire universe. Random books here. Random books. More random books, but we got Octavia Butler, Afrofuturism right there. His Dark Materials. Just some kind of random sci-fi ones as well. Sci-fi and science-y. Dark Tower. This is kind of like a copy from the 80s, I think, right here. We have the cat Pepper. Say hi, Pepper. Hi, Pepper. She's just observing the whole scene. And then we have a couple here. John Grisham, Michael Connolly. Kind of put them all in the same category here. And then just a few of these random ones here. Cloud Atlas. So I definitely got some reading to do. I've read probably 30% of these. So definitely looking forward to checking more of these out. Let me know what you think and which ones I should put on my TBR, by the way. Thanks for going on this journey with me, you guys. I'm Nikhil with Shelf-Esteem. I really appreciate you all being here. Please like and subscribe if you haven't already and if you like this kind of content. And I would love to use this as a jumping off point to have a dialogue with you all. Do you prefer to get, all the new, latest and greatest special editions? Do you like to get well-worn copies? Do you like things that are in between? Were there any books on my shelf that appealed to you in particular, or ones that you would want to get for yours? Or are there any that you would want to kind of talk about that are in your prized collection? I think prized collections can be a lot of different things. They can be either the most expensive, beautiful editions, or it could be something that has sentimental value. So don't be afraid to drop it in the comments. I'd love to chat with you all. If you feel more comfortable having a direct conversation, we can do that in the Discord as well, which I'm linking below. And I hope you enjoyed this video as much as I enjoyed making it. So be good to yourselves, be good to each other, and I'll see you as always on the next video. Take care.